again. Alexa, set alarm for 5 minutes.
Alarm set for 5 minutes from now.
Alexa, set alarm for 5 minutes.
Alarm set for 5 minutes from now.
Okay. Oh, I gotta save the share live. Share the live. Okay. Okay, so I did bake, sorry, I still have my mask on. I did 2 layers of primer in Primrose's mouth. So her tongue everywhere, especially the bottom lip. So she's got 2 layers on. So hopefully, the paint will start sticking. If not, then I'll have to strip her lips like I did, the other one and start again. Which I'm hoping it doesn't come to that, but, so I've baked Pickle. It's right here. So I'm just rebuilding up his lips. So yeah, that's going. I think I'm going to add a neutralizer to him, to help with the yellowing. I don't know. I'm just thinking as a neutralizer. But at the same time, it looks like it's... Because they do have a little bit of a... Yeah, because I'm looking at, neutralizing. I'm just wondering how that will affect the pink color that I'm doing. No, I think it would be fine. I'll just keep doing the flesh, and I don't want to screw them up. Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Clarissa. So actually, I sent you a voicemail earlier, Elizabeth. I wasn't sure if, I didn't think Bickle was going to be on till tonight, but because I am on later, he already cooled down, and I did start him at like 12:45. So he's cooled down now where I can add more to him. And I was just explaining for Joanne, she has 2 layers of primer, all in her mouth and her bottom lip now. So hopefully it works. If it doesn't, then I have to strip hers too. But, this is the learning process with heat set, the Exodus primer obviously wasn't grabbing the paint that well. But there was also a baking issue as well. But my test kit is the one who went through most of those baking issues, and I used Um, I use irresistible primer on him, and he or she, sorry, and she didn't have any problems with the paint sticking at all. So I think a lot of it is probably the primer, um, because all of these ones had Exodus primer. So I did start stripping Laura last night. I'm just not. It's just gonna be too much to fix her nose. Her nose just keeps getting too red, and it's gonna, it's just not gonna work out. Even if I neutralize it, it's not gonna work out. And the ears got too red from me trying to fill in our areas, and other areas are still not sticking. Um, and I wasn't happy with the lips. And her veins are a bit strong on her limbs. So I just decided, because she's like my favorite sculpt besides Sana, so who I haven't even met in person yet. So it's really important to me that she comes out like to the best of my ability. So I do have a teacher in heat set now. So I'll be following her classes for any of the babies that start in April, except for African American because she doesn't teach that. Not yet, anyway. Um, so I will be taking some classes from a different heat set artist. I think I'm going to be starting them in the fall, early fall. I'll be starting classes from an African American artist in heat set. So, because I want to learn more about it, I'm really love making the skin tone. It's gorgeous, but I want to learn more and more and more how I can go even higher and higher and higher in my work. Um, I learned a lot with the one I did in air dry, and I've learned a lot working on a pickle as well. So, by trusting my in primary colors. So yeah, the obviously the lips was an issue with the primer. So I just felt it was best to strip his lips because um, I wasn't happy. They were looking muddy, and the bubble area on his lips here, it wasn't sticking at all, and it was just going to get worse and worse and worse. And so I decided that I didn't want to send him home like that. So I decided that to strip his lips and do the extra work to send home a beautiful baby rather than a baby with thick lips that could peel. So I didn't want that to happen. So anyway, I'm gonna go and my neck. Gotta go put Prim in the oven. I'll be right back. This is Prim. She's doing good. Just her bottom lip, just like all the other ones. Very frustrating. Oh, I need you right now. Oh, I'm looking for my goggles and they're on my head. And I need her arms because I did a red wash on her, and I'll be doing a purple wash on her neck. Okay. Whew. Alexa. Oh, she timed out. Sorry. I don't want to yell up the stairs, so I'm running her on my tablet. Alexa, set alarm for 32 minutes.
Alarm set for 30 minutes from now.
Didn't I say 32? Okay. So, in case anybody's, oh, actually, I think it was supposed to be longer than that. 12 minutes. Anyway, I don't actually bake for 32 minutes for those of you that are new to my channel. I bake for 12 minutes at 260 because it's winter temperature. So I have to change, I have to check the oven every season to see how it's working. We did have a day that was at 60 degrees. And the 260 for 12 minutes was doing a good job. But I only cook for 12, only bake them for 12 minutes. But they say 15 minutes is a safe time after the baking is done to go back into the room. I usually don't go in for 30 minutes. But I do wear a respiratory mask and goggles. But anyway, yeah, so right now I am finishing customs. We had a winter here that we haven't had in 10 years. So it made being able to bake very difficult because I lost a lot of baking time during the winter. It's really unfortunate, but the preheating is quite dangerous for me, even though I'm wearing a respiratory mask and goggles. It's okay if I do it at it temporarily, but if I were to do it over the years, I have a higher risk to damage to my lungs. So after I'm done these customs, I won't be preheating anymore. So after these customs are done, I won't be doing any more customs in heat set until I try not preheating on my own kits, like ones I'm going to sell and ones that I own, because I don't want to be responsible if something goes wrong with someone's kit. Now, if everything goes really well, then I will start doing customs and heat set again next spring. But as far as this spring, I won't be doing any customs because I just don't know what's going to happen. I won't really be doing heat set much in the wintertime anymore, because they will get temperature shock if it's not preheated when it's under, I would say if it's under 45 degrees. And so people would, like my customers this year, would be waiting quite a while. But I've given out discounts and stuff like that for their time and everything like that, and deals to make up for it. But they were all aware coming in that I do have health problems as well that that caused me to take longer making reborns. And with the added harsh winter we had, I'm just excited that they're all close to the finish line finally, and I'll be able to show them fully done in heat. My very first heat sets completely fully finished. So I'm really excited that I'm getting to that point now, because it's been hard not being able to show full work done, my first heat set. what's I gonna say? So Pickle is the closest, I would say. It's just that all I really have to do is get his new lips on, and I'm still working a little in this area here. It's not as noticeable with regular eyes, but when I put the visors on, it's like bothers me more. Um, and I mean, you can notice it a little bit, so I'm really trying my best to fix that up. And then I want to, when that's all done, then he'll get his hair rooted. So, but he's come a long, long way with fixing his boo-boos. Um, so that's where I'm at. Um, Hello, Hope. Yes, me too. I love them very much too. So I've learned a lot during this process in heat set. I now know that I'm only going to stick with the Irresistibles primer. Irresistibles also came out with a great product called Blending Fluid. There's a lot of artists that are posting in the Irresistible group how amazing, what a game changer this stuff is. I don't know what they were using, if they were using what I was. I was using Exodus thinning oil. I mean, Exodus thinning oil will get the job done, but I find that this blends it a lot nicer and it's a lot softer. Um, so I really feel that um, this product is what I want to stick with for now on. I bought 2 bottles. So I got lots of that on hand. I did still buy more Liquid Thin because Liquid Thin is very sturdy, very tough, and it really gives more protection to your work. And I also like to use it as a varnish instead of varnish because when you root their hair, varnish can crack, where the Liquid Thin won't crack because it's softer and varnish is harder. So when he gets rooted, I don't have to worry about him cracking at all. So that's why I much prefer Liquid Thin instead of varnish, even though I have a whole slate of varnish. But for rooting, she did say you could still use varnish on other parts of them, but just keep the Liquid Thin where you're going to root. But I don't know. I just think it'd be weird to use varnish over here. And then if you're going to root the eyebrows, then you would have to work around the eyebrows with your varnish. And I just think it could show different effects. So I just like using the Liquid Thin instead. So, but I do have the varnish on hand. I can use it to mix with other things, for different things I want to varnish and stuff like that. But yeah, I've decided to use Liquid Thin as a varnish instead. It's not a varnish. It's used as a thinner, but you can use it. Irresistible says you can use it as a varnish. And all the Irresistible products have sealer in it. So if you want to add sealer as an extra protection, you can, but it's not necessary because all their stuff has sealer in it. So, yeah, and his pain is really tough. Like really, like I was stripping Laura last night, just starting to, and I was really shocked how tough it was. And also I was really impressed that Laura has 0 staining on her. 0 staining. When you work with acrylic, you always get staining. I did strip a Genesis one time and he got staining. So I was really shocked. And I didn't use primer on her at all. I didn't use primer on her because I was testing the theory because she was my kit. But she's completely because I did her modeling really strong because I was really shocked on how much stronger heat set pigment is. And she has no staining of that at all on her. At all. Nothing. She's turning into the kit that I saw when she came home. So, that is impressive. That is really impressive. So, I'm sticking with the irresistible products. I do have some old stock Genesis that I got like for half the cost in Canada, which helped me out during this last year with, well, it'll be a year in May that I started a couple of them. I think I started Pickle in June. I wasn't sure if I was going to sell him or not. So he was started out to be Caucasian. Usually I would leave the hands and feet in the mouth to the end, but he was meant to be Caucasian, and then customer wanted him. So, and I have a dog with cancer, so I sold him. Plus, I didn't bond with him as much as I thought that I would. So, it was like I would like to have him in my collection, but not really part of my main nursery. So if he'll make someone happier, then I'd rather him go to someone that he'll make happier than just collecting dust. So anyway, let's get to it. When the alarm goes off, I'll need to add more in there because as it gets dark out, the temperature drops. And we have a cold night tonight, so... All right, buddy. So, I need my visors. But I can't believe how far he's actually gone. So, I added some yellow to his ear here yesterday because it looked too brown over here for the cartilage. So, that worked out really well. Like this one. See, I wanted it more like this one. It's a little darker. I'll probably add a little bit more because it's a little darker than that one. I'm going to try and get it like this one. Not a huge deal, but so the reason why this is actually the same color as his skin on this side. It's darker around here from areas that I was fixing. So that's the thing when you're fixing small areas. It's really hard to keep it from going places that you don't want it to go. So I've been working on using sienna to lighten this area. Instead of focusing on this so much, I'm trying to lighten this area here. So it'll match better to here. So I'm using sienna to do that. His nose over here, I'm doing the same thing because his nose is a bit darker over here. So yellow works great for that. So sienna. I'm using sienna because he's African American. I'm worried if I use primary yellow that might make it too light. So that's why I'm using sienna on him. But I've been doing, I stripped his lips. I explain that why, right? So right now I'm doing flesh layers on him right now. And then I'm going to start building up the lip color. But overall, yeah, he's looking really good. I can see the changes from the yellow over here. So I'm really, really, really happy with that. But yeah, he's doing good. So I'm going to just grab my water and then start to work. And then once I get them, when I start rooting them, then I can fix the areas on his limbs and the color of his hands and feet. Okay. So, and here's Drewy. So I'm going to try and fix her too. I did I'm going to check her lips right now to see if that works, so I know if I'm going to have to strip her lips too. I really hope not. It's a real pain having to do that. Here's my lip brush. Because you have to be very careful that you don't touch the skin on the outside here. So his came out really good. Like I perfectly stripped those. I didn't make any boo-boos on them at all. It took me 2.5 hours, but rather be safe than sorry. All right, let's see if this worked for you, girl. I won't know until I pounce it. That's weird. It looks like this cured up here, but she's got a line back here that didn't. So I can use it. It's inside of her mouth, so it's not a huge deal, but I can build that up. It's no big deal. I need a little. Let me do this one. It looked like it worked. It looks like it's taking. I thought so when I was applying it, but I didn't want to get too excited. But it does look like it's taking the paint because this is not as bright as it was. And I could see when I was putting the paint on that it was staying. It wasn't beading off. So that's really good. I did do 2 layers because I was worried the one layer wouldn't knock it. So hopefully that will continue to work. The reason why I didn't do that with Pickle is because his lips were really muddy from me trying to build them up. And he just had too many areas that... and then in the creases going in this area, in his mouth right here, it was really dark, like pinkish. It was turning into like magenta, and I just wasn't happy with it at all. So if it's not up to my standards, to what I would want in the paint layers and the lips and all that, if it's not up to my standard of what I would be like, okay, you know, I love this baby, you know, like if it's not up to my standards, I don't send them home like that. So I want them to have the best that I can do, you know what I mean? Now, I thinned down the flesh layer because it was too thick before. So I thinned it down and turned it more fleshy than... it was too white before. So now it's thinned down and it's a flesh color. So I'm going to get... let's see which brush I want to use for that. This one. This is the one I used before. It's nice and thin. It does take longer to build the lips up when you thin it out. But if you don't do it thin, it'll come out chalky. It was way too thick before. I noticed that when I was thinning it down. So this will just work a lot better. Just gonna get some thumbs up from mixing it. So I'm just going over here so when I use the pouncer thing, it doesn't go too far out. Because when I press down, it's going to push it out more. And I really want to make sure it doesn't get on his skin. Because this is a very light color and his skin is not. So I'm trying to avoid that as much as I can. And then I take a small skinny brush here and just grab it out of the creases. Oh, I need some paint. So I did 3 layers already, and then I baked them. Some people do more layers, but just because of the issues I had with his lips, I'd rather bake them at 3 layers so I know it's baking properly. Get some flesh color in his mouth here. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing here. And then for any area that I could still see the old pink like on the lines, if the color doesn't blend in with that, I can just do some brown on that area, because I have noticed on babies that they have like a brown, almost like a liner look to their lips, but not like a lip liner, but you know what I mean. They have brown just at the edges of their lips. So that worked itself out, because it's very dangerous to try and strip that because it's right on their skin. So I don't like stripping lips, but I want people to have like beautiful babies. Get that out so it doesn't build up in there, because it'll build up and look all thick and gross, and I don't want that. Because he's basically, well, they've gotten a lot better, but he was basically right down to the original color of the vinyl. Hi, Chloe. Every Reborn runs at a different price, because it all starts with kit costs, and then it goes from there with skin color, detailing, and all that kind of stuff. But I didn't charge for the African American skin because I'm still new at it. So once I get better at it, then my prices will go up for African American, because it is a lot more work. But I want to be much more detailed with it before I start charging extra for it. All right. Yeah, it's sticking very well to him this time around. It's really hard to get that right out of this. Sticks in there. There we go. It's hard to get the tip in there. And making sure it's nice and blended. I'm going to bake him again before tonight's live, so that I can start his lip color tonight. He should be ready for it after 6 layers of flesh, I think. He'd be ready for it. I can still see some paint in there that didn't... He has a very small opening to his mouth. Okay, so while that's drying, I'm going to... Yeah, I think I'll add a bit more. So I need that, that's pure yellow. Here it is. I need a mixie brush. So there will be a couple days, coming up where I won't be able to bake, so that's why I'm trying to do as much as I can get done on days that I can bake. But mostly, it's mostly baking days, so that's good. Because it was so stressful when it wasn't. Because I'm like, oh, the work I can get done, and they're just sitting there. You know when you want to do something, but you have to wait? It's frustrating. See how I'm just working around this area here? And just the extra dark areas. Because that's what's giving me these. Now this side is fine, except for the nose. Under part of the nose looks fine. I probably don't want to really mess with that much. I've done it to that area before. I'm going to leave these areas. And then just this powder made this a little darker than I wanted, so I'm just going to lift that up. Then I'm going to get, not that small. Here's the one I used yesterday. So I'm just going to pounce this in. So it's right into the vinyl. See, I'm going around these lighter areas. Because that's the color. This color here is the same color as his eyelids. So I know that's the right color. This has just got darker from me fixing areas. So I'm like, I need to fix those areas. And then it'll balance his skin out. Because it'll just keep getting too dark. So after I use this to blend that into the vinyl, I'm going to use a dry brush to take off like edges. Because I want it to look blended. I don't want to see edges. So I'm going to use the top over here so it doesn't get too much in that lighter area. So this is just blending it in. And I'm just doing the areas that are too dark. This worked out great yesterday. And this is a sienna, so that's what it looks like. It's, you see how it's not like it's darker than primary yellow. This is primary yellow right here. You see how much brighter that is? I don't think it's the best color to use doing this. And when I made his layers, I used, it was Irresistible paint. I don't have any more. I want to order it next time. It's very close to sienna. There's a different name for it. Can't remember what it is, but it's like a golden yellow, and people even use it in their Caucasians, because if they're doing washes, because they like how they find the primary too bright. So what I did was I added a little bit of it to my, because I found it darkened my kits too much for Caucasians. So it's great, especially if you want to do like olive skin. So what I did was I just added a little bit to my primary yellow to just give it a little, darken it a tad, and that worked out really well for me. It brought it closer to the color of the Ultimate Fusion Yellow, which I'm used to, because the primary yellow is a lot brighter than the Ultimate Fusion Yellow in air dry. So I like that. It worked out great for me. I do want to get that color again. I don't remember what it was called though. But Esther will know, because she gave me the sample of it. But I ran out of money. I ordered what I really needed the most. So I got this one is I think it's Authentic Reborn heat set paint that I was able to get in Canada because I was running out of the other one. So that's why I didn't order it, because I have it here right now, and I was trying to order things that I really need to get. And I have to pay import fees and all that stuff too, so. But yeah, that looks good. Lips are dry, so I'll do another layer on his lips, which I was using this brush, right? Yeah. Okay. Oh, it's done. Alexa, why the cricket? You gonna listen to me? Cancel alarm. She heard me? Shocking. Because on my tablet, when the screen goes blank, it closes the app, so she can't hear me. And that's the only thing I wish it was like the Google thing where all I have to say her name. But she heard me from all the way upstairs. So, Eileen, I stripped the lips. I'm working on the lips. Not necessary to use all caps. If you were a regular follower, then you would know why the lips look the way that they do. Look, there's Toby in his hair. Okay, bud. Let's do another layer. Alright. Get your blending brush. I'm just trying to get around that. Make sure I don't get it on his lips down here. I just don't want to get it outside the lip area. And then I need that brush again. Okay. All right, everybody. I'm happy with the color in his mouth. I don't want to make it too light in there. So I'm going to do this top lip. Okay, buddy. Then he'll just need one more layer, then I'll bake him again. And then I'll start his lip color. And it may take a bit to build them up because he's right down to the beginning of the kit. So the flesh areas will help with it. Give it a base layer. But he will need quite a bit of layers because they were stripped right down. But the good news is I can still work on his lips when I'm rooting him. So that's the good news. Because his lips are going to be done with like a satin and not like a sealer or anything. So I can do that while I'm rooting. Like, I root when I'm working on 2 reborns, I root in the morning and I root in the late evening. So when I'm working during the day, I can just bring him over and work on his lips. So I would have to use air dry. What do you call it? I would have to use my air dry varnish because I wouldn't be able to put him in the oven with his hair on, especially human hair. But at least he's not sitting while I'm updating his lips. But we'll see where he is when I get to that point. Because the only thing that's holding me from Starting his rooting is this area because that has to be baked. That's heat set paints. So, oh wait, I just wait. No, that wouldn't work because the paint I'm using on his lips is heat set. I forgot. Sorry, I forgot. Yeah, so I do have. Darn it. I was kind of hoping if he was HP hair, then I could have done that. But he's human hair, so I don't want to risk that. Human hair is more likely to burn, so. But if you use really high end, you know, if you use really high end hair, you can bake. You just wet the hair a bit, stamp it a little bit, and then you could still bake them with their hair. But no, human hair wouldn't work. I wouldn't trust that theory. Just gonna use this just to make sure those areas are blended, because I want to make sure it's gonna stick. So you can see that his lips are getting darker from, well, I don't know if you guys can see it as much as I can, but his lips have gotten darker. Since I've done this, they were a lot brighter than this. Oops, I gotta. I'm also have to fix his neck here too, because someone told me to put towel around their neck when I was new, and to support their head. And what happened was the towel kept this from baking, and it a little bit underneath here. It mostly baked at the back though, but it was mostly the front here. So what I do now is I put the towels in their head to support them, and that seems to be working out a lot better. Not everything bakes better on the outside. So, but I was just going by what other heat set artists told me to do. So, but it didn't work out for me because it stopped this from baking. So I put like, I think I used skin texture to grab it better. So I'm going to do that as soon as I'm done. This looks good here. Oh, I don't think I blended this part. It's still wet. So I can get right in there. Just blend that up there a bit more. Okay, so while the lips are drying, I'm going to get out my brown. Where is it? I want the other one. I have two browns. Oh, that's something else in there. Okay, that's blush. I might be blocking it with... Oh, wait. So that's the wash brown. Looking for the other one. Oh, here it is. Oops. Good thing there's no heads on the top. I need a mixed brush. All right. Now this one's a little darker, but he's very, very white there. So, it'll help. And then I'm going to lighten up I actually might not notice that as much because once I fill this in, but we'll see. I'm trying to avoid that area. But if it gets too dark, I can lighten it with yellow. Just like I'm doing to the face right now. No big deal. But yeah, he's really come a long way from where he was. really proud of this guy. I mean, he's only my second African American, and he's my first African American in heat set, so I think that's pretty good. I think I'm doing pretty good considering. I don't want that there. So what I'm doing is I'm just blending this so that there's no edges and that it bakes right into that vinyl. That's the goal. See, it's already going darker. I can do 3 layers of that. His lips just need 1 more layer and then they're good to be baked. I'm being very careful with the yellow though because I don't want to lighten it like too much. These colors are a lot stronger. But I think I'll do just one more yellow. I'm not going to do 3. I'll do 1 more and then see how that goes. Yeah, it's just over. Oops, I missed this side here. Where's my dry brush? Right here. But yeah, overall, he looks really good. His cheeks look so cute. I used skin texture for his cheeks. They came out really cute. Oh yeah, I wanted to do more yellow in the ear, didn't I? Where's the brush I used for yellow? Okay, this is the lips. That's Caucasian lips. This is probably the yellow. Yep. Got so many brushes in front of me, I don't know what's what. So I'm just going to go around the cartilage here. See? I think I could have done a better job in the ears if I had that blend flow. Because someone was saying, not blend flow, the blending fluid. Because someone was saying that theirs came out like mine until they started using blending fluid. So it's good to know for the future, especially when you're doing like a darker skin tone. There we go. So that's just for the cartilage in his ear there. Okay. His lips look dry, so I'm going to do 1 more layer on his lips of the flesh. So we're just going to do 1 more. And the flesh has like red in it. So it's like a light pink color. Which will go well with the lip color. Because the lip color starts out like a light pink. And then it goes darker and darker and darker. So I'm not a fan of the darkest color of it. Because it looks more magenta. But I like how it starts the lips. So I used to just make lip color with primary colors. But I do like this lip color. It's also great to do flesh and like the inside of the mouth. If you just want a light pink in there, it's great for that too. There are other lip colors where not my cup of tea. I'm just not used to it. If I want darker lips, I use the same color I do for creases, and that gives me the darker lips. Okay. Okay, buddy, just the top here. It's got a nice base color. Now I can build up that pink. I would start his lips off with a primary color, but since she likes the lips a lighter pink, because usually in African American, when you make them, you leave the lips, the inside of the mouth, and the bottom of the hands and feet. But like I said, he wasn't started out that way, so I actually had to lighten his lips. and it came out a lot wider than it looked in the jar. And it was too thick too. It's too thick. But yeah, those are looking a lot better. They're like a little peachy, but the pink will blend in with that. His peach is part of pink. Hey, buddy, just want to make sure everything's good. Make sure everything is drying. All right, so now I'm going to do the yellow. Gotta find that yellow brush again. Found it. Sienna. Now it looks light here, so I don't want to add it in there. I'm just going to add it over here. But I have to be careful of his creasing too. I don't want to lighten his creasing under his eye, so it can be very challenging to fix these areas, but I've done it in air dry, so I have experience with doing it. But it looks like it has lightened up in here. So that's why I don't want to add any more over there. I'm going to turn him Caucasian. We don't want that. Not after all that work. I'm just trying to get this to blend better. Because it got too dark when I was fixing it over here. This is getting better. Can use some in there. I'm really impressed though. I'm glad that I went with my gut and chose yellow to fix them. When I was a new artist, I didn't trust my gut at all, and it caused me issues. So now I listen to what my brain is telling me to do. Like, if it says use this color, do that, then I do it. I don't question it, I just do it. So this part is supposed to be lighter because that's, we actually put yellow on the bridge of their nose here. That's okay to be lighter. I think I am going to do it just once. Um, just along the edges here. And down this area here. But this has gotten a lot better there than from the last time that I did it. Where's my yellow one? This one's brown. Here it is. I got visors on, so it's hard for me to find things. It's like trying to find things with a magnetic, with a what do you call? I can't think of the name right now. Like a magnifying lens, yeah. It's like holding it up to your eyes and then trying to find things, and it's the kind of hard to find everything that way. But the reason why I use them is because they help me see that it's blended. Air dry, I don't need them as much unless it's a newborn. But with this, I really want to make sure that it's blended because I don't want to have any lines or anything like that. Just in my dry brush. What's it right here? I just want to get those edges. If I use a sponge, it'll take too much off. That's why I don't like using a sponge. Yeah. You can see that the small area here, it was like a small line here that's really hard to fill in without ruining the work. So I can see that this is getting bigger as I'm lighting the skin because it's actually the darker part that's too dark. That was the mistake, which I thought. So I started noticing it. And this is starting to blend more to that. And then I can always use, if it gets too light, I can always use my lighter brown to fill that in a little bit. Because the brown that I used for these areas was the same as the creasing, and it was just too dark. But it was taking so long the other way. But it's working out, and that's what's important. And I'm learning from this. It's how you learn as an artist, you know. See, a lot of you wouldn't even you wouldn't know that if I wasn't working live. You would see the end result of him or updates that I chose to show you. But when you see me working live, you see what I'm learning. You see what I'm growing from and all of that. So that's why I also like to work live to help other artists. Show them how I'm fixing it. Show them what I'm doing. Okay, I'm going to do one more layer of brown. I was thinking I used this brush, didn't I yet? Okay, and then I'm going to use my dry brush. Where is it? So there's an area here that I wound up getting paint on. Instead of using the dry brush, I'm going to use the sponge because the sponge will take it off. I'm just trying to avoid the other area. And then this was not supposed to be there because it'll get too dark. And I don't want that. Okay, buddy. So when he dries, I can put him back in the oven again. The outside's looking better. Now let's start his lip color. That's too realistic. Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. Except for his lips, because I'm fixing them right now. Did you hear that, Elizabeth? Your baby is too realistic. Okay, so Duran should be dry for her second layer. I'm just going to put these paints away so I have them when he comes back. Okay, so I can still use this one. I think I use those on the lips. Which one did I... This one's yellow. Yeah, this one I can use. And then my lip brush, which is right here. So here's Dury. I'm going to do a second layer on the lip here. Trying to fix these dang lips. Yeah, it's a really good thing. Trying to stay where it needs to be fixed so they're not too dark. Where's my blendy brush? I pulled it out. Oh, it's under her. That's not helpful. Yeah, it looks like it's working. I'll have to see how it bakes, but... See, the only problem with filling it in is the areas that get too dark. It gets frustrating. But those are her lips, because it's just in these areas. It looks like it's sticking, because before it didn't even look like that. Okay. And it already looks like that side's been fixed. Oh yeah, I wanted to put more in her tongue. It'll be a victory to get these guys done. Truly will. Probably be crying. I'm going to add a little more flesh color in here, yeah, right here. I'll do her teeth when I get her lips and mouth all done. So I don't get any white. Anything on her teeth. It is getting better. Yeah, it definitely looks like it's getting darker in there. I'm just going to blend this with my dry brush. Where's it? Not so sure how dry it is right now. It feels good though to see that's working. The lips I gotta strip, the better. It's very time consuming and it's just a lot more work. So as far as her ears go, they look better. I think I just do want to add a little bit over here and a little bit down here. I can't remember if I added primer to her or not. I know I did it before. I need a mixing brush. The ears are one of the world. The round part on the ears, the nose tip, and the bottom lip, usually, if it's plumpy, those have been the most challenging. And, you know, I thought it was just me because I'm new to heat set. But someone told me they go through the same, like it's a common issue with heat set. Because it's such a smoother area. I got my Christmas baby today in the mail. Oh, wow, did you? That's cool. It's exciting. Okay, darling, let's find a brush here. I'll use this one. It's small. Trying to keep it in its lane. Okay, she doesn't have as much detailing in her sculpting because this one was originally a what do you call like a porcelain or an acrylic doll. And then Bountiful Baby got copyrights to turn her into vinyl. And I don't think they sell her anymore, though, do they? I don't know if they discontinued her or not. I'm not sure. Pretty sure they did. Okay, I think that's going to work out good over there. And then just a little bit over here. I tried to fix Laura, but I just couldn't. It was going to take way more time and effort than to just strip her and restart her. But that's usually my last resort, especially for a customer, because they've already been waiting for me. So I will work harder for customer babies to not have to strip them. But if it's one of mine, I'm just like, I'm over it. I'm just going to strip her. So. But yeah, I try much harder to save customers. But I don't know if I really would have been able to, because when I go to neutralize her ears and nose, it's going to look really different, like darker. So and then the fact that I did her veins too strong, I'm just like, and it's going to be a long time before I can get another Laura. My sister wants a Laura, but I'm not letting my Laura go until I have another one. So, my sister's not as picky as I am, so she would have took her regardless. But until down the road, I can repaint her. But I just don't. I just can't afford another Laura right now. So, eventually, I'm gonna give that one to my sister and do another one. But So coming up in April, well, once these ones are done, well, I'm gonna be working on a couple because I can only do so much on these guys, and then they're just sitting. So, but I'm only gonna bring in a couple because I have air dry work to do as well. So, I'm gonna be bringing in Lulu and who else is it? Lulu. And I'm probably going to bring back Laura. So, work on that. Here, let's just do. Laura is like my must-have kit, so it's hard not having her done. But yeah, so her ears look good. Looks like everything's sticking pretty well. Where's my dry brush? Right here. Yeah, I did put primer on her ears, I remember now. Only one layer, but that's why it's sticking so well. Her ears are pretty not as smooth as Laura's. Um, there is more grit to them because Bountiful baby kits have a like a softer, powdery touch to them than the other kits. So that's why, you know, the Bountiful babies didn't get it as rough. Actually, Pickle did pretty good with his ears. Didn't really have problems with his ears. It was more the nose, lips, and like in the eyelids and areas there because he's got really rounded eyelids because he's chunkier baby. And then, of course, I think the issues with his hands was because I was baking them upside down because of the fingers. Because he had a mild temperature shock where his fingers kind of went right in. So I was flipping them over so it didn't bake properly. So it's important through each bake that you do flip each side. Like, before you, like, don't always do it on the one side. Like flip them over, and then next time you bake, make sure they're on the other side, vice versa. So I figure out a way with a towel, a cotton towel, on how I can do it without any pressure on his hands. Because when it's a flat surface and the vinyl is hot and soft, it can manipulate the hands. So the same thing happened to Laura. Um, so now I use a towel, but I haven't seen any issues at all since my oven, since I got the oven thermometer and fixed the temperature on the oven, and that I'm not working outside either. But the towel is working really good because it's more like plushy. It's not flat. So that's working out pretty good for me. Okay. Her lips are nearly dry, so I'm going to do one more layer of the lips, and then I'm going to bake her with pickle. She'll get a bake with pickle when they're dry. There we go. Yeah, it does look like it is filling in. Please, Lord, let it fill in. We'll just see what happens when she bakes. And then I'm just going to add a little more to her tongue. Because it wasn't baking in her tongue. I don't know why, but it wasn't. But it looks like it is now, so that's what's important. Yeah, I'm really happy that I'm finally getting somewhere. It's really frustrating when you try and try and try and changes are not being met, but now they are, so I'm really happy about that. Laura, yeah, I knew that was the right decision. So I still have to do some ear detail, but yeah, because she doesn't have her ears are a little harder to do because she doesn't have the full cartilage in there. You see what I mean? It's really wide, and so it's a little more tricky. Mix some blues with yellows and stuff, but I don't want to do it all yellow because I just don't want to do that. So I'm going to let those two dry right now. The other ones didn't need really to be baked yet. Okay. Okay, so yeah, I want to do a lip base. This is Willow, and just the bottom of her lip wasn't curing, just in the middle of it. But I did, oh, oh, cool. So I'm just filling in that lip now, because now after primer from Irresistibles, it's filling in now. It's just a little tricky because I'm trying to just do that middle area so her lips don't get too thick. Actually, you know, I'm going to use a smaller brush. Skinnier brush will be easier because I'm trying to keep it from... Toby did not like that wind yesterday. So I'm trying to just stay in that lip area here. There. That looks better. I think I'm going to add some more to the top lip because this one's darker. I did prime the top lip as well. Did I just use red? For the love of France. I did. I used red. 1 second. It's okay. It's not dried. You just keep pouncing it. The sponge will get rid of it. Oops. Ah, I got her tongue. Actually, the red in her tongue is a good thing. So I'm not worried about that. I just don't want red on it. Oh no, I got some... What the... It says... Oh my... I'm using the wrong sponge. I'm using the one that I cover my flesh color with. Oops. It's a good thing this is a heat set paint, or I would have been screwed for that. I need a new thin brush. Okay. Now, lip color. I think the first time I did it, it was the lip color, and then the second time was red. I haven't really learned much on the blister lip, so I haven't really done blister lips yet. I barely in air dry. I think I did it once in air dry. But I will be learning it over this summer. Or spring and summer, I should say. But as far as right now, I haven't... I'd rather not learn on the customs. But my new teacher has a air drying tutorial and a heat set tutorial for blister lips. Let's go let that dry. I'm gonna add a little bit of actually, no, I'm not gonna do that. Now wait till I change the red texture. As far as her ears go, this ear is good. This one could use just a little bit. I'm gonna find my red brush. I think that's a lip color. That's a lip color. color is this one? I don't see any. Plus, that one's too big. I wanted to use a smaller one. Oh, this one's red. Okay. It's just in some small areas like here. I will need to neutralize these ears though. Where's my blender? That one's yellow, brown. Oh, my remote. How did my remote get over here? Okay, I'm just gonna use my dry brush to. So this one's not, but I need to make them as close to each other as possible. So yeah, I'll wind up neutralizing both of them. Is one happy sleeper, isn't she? Okay, gonna let her lips dry for now. This one is Oakland. This one I'll be selling when she's all done. She's had some bottom. That's a lip color. She's had some bottom lip issues. So I'm trying to fix that. Not as bad as the other ones, but. Her lip line is really hard to follow. I can just see it. I might need to add primer to her lips. We'll see. Yeah, because I think it's not all of her lips. It's just certain areas that are giving me a hard time. But I gotta let these bake and then I can. Her ears look pretty good. Maybe just a little bit up here. Then in my dry brush. Maybe just a little bit under here. My red. This is the tedious part. When you're an artist, especially needs that. I've learned that this is really tedious. Not like air dry, because you can, with air dry, you can keep going. But with heat set, you gotta wait for it to dry. Do so many layers, then bake. So it's a bit more challenging. I am really glad I started out in air dry though. When I see all the challenges with heat set. Yeah, I'm gonna put primer on her lips next time around. to bake the paint that I did though. And then I could start using the primer. But yeah, that's where I'm at with that. What is this one again? This is blush. Oh, this has skin texture in it. Perfect. I need a mixie brush again. I'm going to do her blushing. This has skin texture in it. So I'm just doing her cheekies for now. So I'm going to take... I think this brush will be a good one to do. Just want to make sure I'm not grabbing too much of it. I don't want to waste it. Let me see what this does. I don't know if that's a little thin, but I'm just a little scared to go too dark. I don't want to waste it. Trying to see the bottom. I think I did, yeah, I did get some on there. There we go. Let me get it up. Okay. You can bring it on top of the nose too, but this one's kind of big for that. You can't see where the bottom is. Okay, there we go. Gotta hold her a certain way because I have the tendency to go too high sometimes. Yeah, see this one on darker. Just go like this. Blend it. I want to blend it over here. Yeah, you can see that side's a bit darker. Get my sponge. So I can use a sponge. Bring it down. Oh, watch the edges here. Oh, she's a cutie pie. Look at that cutie pie and her cutie cheeks. They look a lot stronger on camera. Holy smokers. Yeah, way stronger on camera. I'm just working on these edges here. Want them to look more blended. Yeah, this cheek is a little stronger, but I can add more later, and it's not huge. What happened here? Splattered on your face. Oh, wait, someone glove. There we go. I think that looks cute. So we do a little tiny, probably, no, that one's flat. I need a rounded one. I thought I had a smaller one like that. But round. This one's flat. That one's... Oh, it's in my other side. That's why I couldn't find it. I'm just going to take a tad off the side here. See? See how I'm just going over the... And then I'm going to use the dry brush to blend it, because the sponge will take too much off. There we go. There we go. And then I want to add yes, small. I might need that one again. What's on here? Yeah, I'll use this one. Dog's hair's got to stick to everything. Dry brush. Okay. Very good. See how nice and blended the edges are? They become part of her. Aw, she looks so cute. What are these symbol things supposed to mean? I don't get it. Do you know what those symbols are supposed to be? I mean, I see those when people... Oops. Sometimes when people write things, they have the symbol in front of it. Does anybody know what it's supposed to mean? It looks like a star and an A. I don't know what that means. Cutie. So she's gonna get baked next as well. Get those areas baked. Looks cute on her though. She still needs around the eye detailing and stuff. Okay, Pickle, let's see how dry you are. Okay, it's still drying. No, I think that's just the color. Alright, good to go. You actually can bake when the paints are still wet with irresistible, I was told, but it is always better to wait till it dries. Okay. Dreary's just a tad. So I'll start that timer. So when Pickle's head goes in the oven, I can add one newborn with him, because he takes up so much room. Actually, I want to do one. No, I don't. I don't want him wet. Okay. I'll be right back. I'm going to set those ovens. What time am I at? Oh, I'm over now. It's showing me the timer that I'm over. Oh, what time is it? Oh yeah, I am. Okay. I'm gonna sign off for now, but I'm gonna put pickle and Duran in the oven right now. And so when I come back tonight, they'll be cooled down by the time I come back tonight. And then we're just gonna continue what I'm gonna start doing the lip color on pickle, and then I'll check that area where I added a sienna, and we'll go there with him and Joanne. Try topping up. I'm going to try topping up her lips again later. And then I'm going to bake. I'm also going to bake the legs to Primrose because she needs a purple wash. Okay. So I'll be back at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Same as New York City. And I'll see you guys then. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate the support. Let's get these babies done. Until the next one. Ta-ta.